Right, whereabouts is the cargo? Okay. I'm going to bookmark. No. Save location. Rec 2. Rec 1. Remove location.
I'll be impressed if we actually make it out the same wormhole we came in. I mean, that in itself would be quite an improvement from most of my incursions.
Well, we've got probes, we've got, you know, the skills, we've got another wormhole. We don't know where it goes, but we've got it.
Goes somewhere.
And just
Go on.
just like when I was here before, we've not encountered a single peep.
Absolutely. I have found historically, if you go into a low-sec system or a dead-end system and go into the wormhole that spawns and connects to that, you are much less likely to bump into other players.
Well, yeah, it's just nullsec. As much as it's complete frontier, dangerous, anything goes, it's just much less populated.
You are statistically, though, much safer in nullsec than low-sec.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, low sec, for those who aren't sure, is basically it's anywhere between 0.1 and 0.4 inclusive. Anything goes still, but there's a lot more stations and things like that, so there's a lot more through traffic of people thinking they're safe.
There is a security penalty to aggressive activity, whereas there isn't in nullsec.
Basically,
and there are defensive installations around stations and gates, but an experienced player will be able to work around them, should we say.
Yes, quite. Okay, this wreck's being stubborn. See, the problem you've got is that these wrecks, as much as they're a pain in the arse, you never know what else valuable's in them. And there's a large wreck. I mean, that's going to be an absolute nightmare for me to crack open. So yeah, you are alpha aligned to beta.
I'm hopping between safe spots now because I'm bored.
Come on. It's a small wreck and I just can't crack it open. I'm hoping that means that there's something good in it. Come on. You bugger. Open! You stupid wreck. Yay! Jeez.
Something good?
No, I don't even know what came out of it. All I know is I'm going to head to Alpha and then head back toward one of the other wrecks. It just takes slightly less time to warp out and then back in. And then just go between them without an afterburner anyway.
Yeah, it tends to be true quite a few times on these sorts of things. Complexes, missions.
Large wreck.
Warp drive active.
Well, there you are.
Hello. I'm going to have another flying visit past the gate.
As I say, at the moment, I wouldn't worry too much. But yeah, certainly keep moving or be aligned and ready.
It's the armor plate on the ship, because it's an 800 on a cruiser.
Yeah.
It's the time it takes to align and warp is so drawn out.
Right. This large wreck's gonna be a pain in the ass. There's 1.5 million in just normal loot from the wreck, let alone whatever I get from the wreck. What have I got as far as salvage goes? To be honest, a 1.5 million bit of Tech 2 salvage. That's all the Tech 2 salvage I've got. Oh no, I've got 4 pieces of Tech 2 salvage basically.
Cool.
I assume that it's Tech 2 anyway. It's, instead of an orange explodey glow around it, it's got a blue explodey glow around it.
Could be Officer,
Don't know.
or it could be Tech 3.
But either way, it's heuristic self-assemblers. And they're actually worth virtually nothing. It's the oh no, hang on. I don't know what I was looking at before then. It's just those melted nano ribbons. Ooh, that's interesting. We got jump drive control nexus. Oh my god, it is worth 14,000 ISK.
Wow, that makes the entire trip worthwhile.
Absolutely. That is madness. And we've got an emergent combat analyzer worth 1,320 ISK.
I'm just not going to be able to cope with this much more if you keep
won't be able
throwing
to
these wild numbers.
And you won't be able to handle this then. I've got 16 pieces of reinforced metal scraps. And you want to know how much they're worth?
I can't wait.
Well, you're going to have to, because the estimated price is unavailable. That is how valuable they are. They can't even estimate. Basically, it is literally, by definition, priceless.
Absolutely. I'll swap you a probe.
Okay, the grand total of my cargo hold value is 110 million. This is a problem. We need to, once we're in the next system, we need to, half of the cargo needs to go to you. Do you know why I'm thinking that?
Paranoia?
Well, paranoia, because I think over 100 million is probably a cut-off point for people blowing me up at a gate.
Well, that's probably a fair assessment.
So if we divide it, not only are we only risking then 50% of it, but we're also reducing the chance of being targeted at all.
Yeah, they will do well to insta-pop these ships.
They don't even necessarily need to insta-pop, because they get you as you emerge at the other end. They'll have people at both ends of the gate. The people that see you arriving and going through the gate will tell the others yay or nay. And then they will then just scram you. And then they don't even need to insta-pop you.
Yeah, it's how long they last until Concord
Exactly.
rapes and pillages them.
Oh yeah.
They generally, you get...
Oh, I should be able to handle it fairly well with this tank. I was able to handle that gank for a while. Okay, I've nearly got the last of them. There's just 2 more left. I've looted one, I'm salvaging the other, and the other one's in range, well, give or take. And then we can see. I'm surprised I managed to salvage the large wreck so quickly, because I had massive trouble with the small one. Just look at the draw, I suppose.
Yeah, it's just the dice roll scenarios with these.
Come on. Don't make me wait. Okay. That's popped now. Okay, we've got one more wreck and then I am completely done.
Excellent.
It's a shame that it bloody despawned. That was annoying.
Yes, it's disappointment, but it can still turn out to be more success than anything else.
Yeah.
Plus, there was a risk of us running out of ammunition.
I don't think we would have. But okay, do you want to head to the wormhole safe spot?
Warp drive
The 200
Indeed.
the 200k one. I'm going to go to Alpha. And then if everything's clear, let me know and I'll just warp straight there and jump through.
I am heading there now.
Okay. Well, basically, the cargo hasn't increased in value from those last few things. It's still 110 million.
The cheese factory is still here.
Maybe we should stop off and get some Dairyly.
Absolutely.
Actually, silly me. Dairyly isn't cheese. How dare... I can't even believe I said that.
About this wormhole.
It's still there and alright?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I thought it might be.
Yeah. You look clear.
Okay, I'm going to warp.
As they said in Pitch Black, it looks clear.
Yeah, he said...
How does it look now? Looks clear.
yeah. It says, I think there's a missing part there. I think it's like no. There's the first looks clear. Doesn't someone go out there and either get ripped apart or nearly get ripped apart?
And get shredded into two and eaten alive.
Oh, that was it. Yeah. And then it's like, what about now? Looks clear. Yep. I think in context it's probably a little bit.
You said it was clear. No, I said it looks clear. How does it look now? Looks clear. Are you jumping straight through?
You come. And then we'll jump through together. Because the thing is, nothing can happen to me now.
Jump, because when I jump, I've got a lot of mass.
Not well if you get stranded. That would be hilarious. There's nothing at the other end. Okay.
We did have one on a mission before that we went through, and the wormhole literally collapsed as the last ship came out. We were that close to it.
Okay. The deal is, I think we should dock at a station, distribute the goodies 50-50, and that's then could be our share anyway, and then we can head back. I would say just Planet 3, Moon 1. Yeah?
Yep. Have we actually got even numbers of things?
To be honest though, with the number of things that I've got...
I mean as far as the significant things.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the valuable stuff is the melted nano ribbons. We've got 110 million in total.
Yeah.
The melted nano ribbons are 104 million. So, and there's 15 of them, unfortunately. But
we're warping in sync.
Holy crap, that's a bit of a fluke, isn't it?
It is, considering we didn't fleet warp.
Yeah. That worked. I mean, at the moment we're as safe as we would be under any other circumstance.
Yeah, we're not dead yet. I mean, that's actually a success.
That's crazy talk. Right, okay, half the nano ribbons into my item hanger. Let's just say 7 of them. In fact, actually, I'll give you 8 of them. And then you can have half of them. Oh, no, not half of all that, jeez. Do you really care what you get as long as it's roughly half and equally valuable?
I couldn't give a crap.
That's good.
I'm really not that kind of a picky person.
I know. But the thing is, you might have some plans on doing some sort of Tech 2 research or something, I don't know.
I have plans on building some new ships to make other things go boom.
Cool. Actually, this is not being quite equal. I've now got 58 of that. Oh, I see. So.
Well, we can wing it this time and balance it next time.
Oh, I can balance it. It's not a big deal. Like you say, at the end of the day, this has been about profit.
Yes.
Pure profit.
Pure greed. Sorry, profit.
Profit. don't forget profit. Well, I tell you what. At the end of the day, out of everything that we've got, the way to balance it, you can have 55,300,000 worth of 8 melted nano ribbons, and then I'll have a ridiculous another massive patch, and that's 55,200,000. So it's equal, but I've just got loads and loads of extra stuff.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
by me.
the value says that it's equal. I mean, there's the only thing I would say is the reinforced metal scraps. They're not included in the value.
But they're priceless.
They're priceless. Yeah, I know you're missing out there, aren't you?
You do realise I will be flying a ship with twice as much value in cargo than the ship itself.
Yeah, you love
Even on a optimistic view of the ship.
it. Yeah, I'm carrying probably, I don't know, a Drake 55 mil. Yeah, I don't think it's exceeded the value of the ship. But to say that this ship's now brought home 55 mil, I'm not half bad about that.
That might not
There
be
you
a
go.
bad idea.
There you go.
Thank you.
Just look at it. Look at it. Just some melted nano ribbons. How can they be so goddamn expensive?
How could they be so goddamn sexy?
They are. That is some sexy loot. And we didn't even manage to crack open the cans. I'm sort of half disappointed. At the end of the day, we went into Wormhole space after my previous
Adventure.
Yeah, that's good. I like that adventure. And we managed to succeed. We managed to actually get in there and make a good profit.
I missed the obvious at the moment. It probably makes as much sense for me to buy a Drake as it does for me to buy a Prophecy. Since I can fly both and have level 5 in both.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, it's meh. I mean, would you passive tank the jobby?
I honestly don't know. I wouldn't know till I looked at it.
They do give some good passive tanks. I mean, that's what the Drake is. It's a passive tank.
Yeah, I do wonder whether if both of us just equipped the ship the same, whether that would be enough for us to do it.
Well, we managed it this time, and to be fair, yes, you did have to warp out. And the only time that I had to warp out, you weren't there. So I'm guessing we both probably, neither of us would have had to have warped out ever. That would make sense. So yeah, 2 Drakes. That was a class 2. According to the guide, not the easiest. And also, the other thing I remember reading is the mag sites, all the actual specific sites that have got cans that you need to hack open. Then they are supposed to be noticeably more difficult than the sites that you don't need probes to find. The ones that literally all you've got is a load of sleepers to kill, nothing, no special treasure, just what you can get off the loot. So we managed in a cruiser and a battle cruiser to manage a slightly more difficult end of the scale. Class 2 Wormhole site.
Yeah.
And I need to take more missiles next time.
Yeah, I'm still very tempted by Prophecy. I might have a look and see if I can dual rep one and take some small drones to take care of the ships that get close.
To be fair, when I took drones the last time, they didn't last very long. They do love drones. Yes, it takes the heat off you, but to be honest, once you've got a good battle cruiser tank, I don't think the heat's an issue with a class 1 or class 2.
Yeah.
So to be honest,
I'll have a look. It's just the ammo. It was the reason I changed ship classes before was purely the cost of the ammo. It was costing me extortionate amounts. Back in the days of torpedoes being the in thing,
Yeah.
It was just extortionate. The mission cost for ammo was just ridiculous. And I know that that's come down, and these days use cruise missiles and damage mods to boost them up, but I do like the fact that when you use the Armar ships, you don't pay for the ammo. And it does make a difference when you're doing a lot of them. At the end of it, you can fit Tech 2 guns to these things with Tech 2 ammo, and you can get ridiculous damage output.
But sometimes you just don't need it, and it's better to save the money on the ammo.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I'll have a look, see what I can cook up. I like something kind of like yourself, a little unconventional, and another natural dual rapper might actually just be fun for the hell of it.
To be fair, a Drake with a passive shield tank, it's not exactly unusual.
Most of the people I know that use them at the moment don't passive tank them.
They probably... I don't know, it's a passive tank is an unconventional tank, but the Drake, it's not rare, it's not uncommon for Drakes to end up with them. But yeah, I mean, according to what I've read, I mean, I haven't spoken to too many people.
People might use them in missions. I suppose it's because most of the people I know are PvP players.
Yes.
So
passive tanks are no good.
Well, it's not that they're no good. It's because they require damage mods to get the damage levels up.
Someone
And
else
once
is
you do that,
13k from me in warp in a Megatron.
if it's equipped as a blaster thron, you would last. If you lasted 13 seconds, I would be impressed.
Hey, 13 seconds, I won't need that long to get through this gate.
Yeah, I think I'm going to log in the station I'm in at the moment.
Oh right, you're still at that old station that we docked at.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
I
in
didn't know you'd
Poinen.
actually undocked.
Yeah, I'm actually at Poinen now.
What it may be worth doing with these mods is having a look how much they're worth elsewhere on the map.
Absolutely, I'm not going to just go and sell them. If it looks like some of the, because obviously I've got all the variety. And to be perfectly honest, if you're only interested in the money, then if one of these turn out to be really valuable, then I'll happily swap. But I figure that if I have the variety, then my industry, I can do some research and we can both benefit from it potentially.
Yeah, potentially. Let's see what happens.
Don't really know much about research, but these components, I mean here, these advanced nanoassemblers, change their molecular structure on the fly, adapting to incoming damage. Ooh.
Some of this stuff is for the Tech 3 ships.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the driver for it. The other stuff in there is obviously for the Eve crack. I did notice that a lot of those don't have side effects, so they may actually be worth looking at. I think they last 30 minutes.
I think they're still illegal, though, aren't they? It's illegal to have them. It's not illegal to be on them.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
That's what I heard. If you've got them in your cargo hold, Concord won't like you. But if you, it's basically a case of if you're carrying them, then you're in trouble. If you're high on them, then they don't care.
Is that for personal consumption as opposed to distribution?
It must be. Now, boys and girls, we're talking about Eve. We're not talking about real life, so don't go out there and start injecting stuff.
Eve is real life. Didn't anyone tell you this?
I was wondering why I was actually inside a real ship. I thought it was just the hallucinations had come back.
If you get out the ship, you can walk around in this station. Of course it's real.
Right, well, I'm going to call it a day for that session. That was, thank goodness, because you know what? If that had gone wrong, or we'd come out empty-handed...
Would Teddy have left the pram?
No, but I don't think I'd have bothered with Wormhole Space again, to be fair. I just don't think I would.
Well, it is all risk-reward, so I don't mind risking if there is a good reward.
And to be honest, thus far, you've come out of there with your ship intact and enough loot to buy that ship again with all of its mods plus profit. So you've paid for the ship. I've pretty much paid for the ship. I mean, I haven't got any Tech 2 on this ship, so I don't know how much it's worth. I know that it's worth more than... Let's have a look. Yeah, basically, I could replace this Drake just on the open market for 50 million.
That's a good point. It tells you now, doesn't it?
I don't know how much my mods are worth. I mean, most of them, that's basically what... I don't think any of them are worth anything. It's the rigs, actually. The rigs are the issue. And I think they're worth like 2.5 mil each, aren't they?
Yeah, these are. This is 11 mil, so 2.5 mil for each of those. I don't think there's much Tech 2 stuff on this either.
There's no Tech 2 stuff on this. I had Tech 2 launchers before, but I don't have enough now. I need to get my Tech 2 launcher blueprint up from Jariza.
Yeah, there's nothing in here Tech 2. There's a lot of named stuff.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, looking at this, I've got a couple of named things. But I'll be fair. I'll be honest and say I don't think that this ship would cost more than 55 mil to replace completely. Oh, actually, yes, I would. Sorry, it'd take 57.5 because of the rigs. So it's barely more valuable than one trip into Wormhole Space. That we now know we don't need to both warp away from the site. We could have got even more than that. Cool. It's worked. Yes! We're going back.
In essence, it's a 100% return on investment for me. The
close to 100
rule is, if you can make more than 5 million an hour, it's worth looking at. If you can get to 10 million an hour, it is actually seriously profitable to do it. You get some people that claim they get higher returns than that. Most of them can't do basic maths. You'll get people that tell you that they're making 80 million an hour, and unless they're running 3 accounts to do it, most of the time they're talking crap. It's extremely rare.
Yeah, they're just trying to look good by exaggerating it massively.
But if you're running 2 accounts and you're making 20 million an hour, you're actually only making 10 million an hour per account.
Exactly. But then again, you might then argue that you only use that account for making money. All the money gets spent on the primary. It just depends, doesn't it?
But it is that rationale.
Yeah.
We always used to do it before, that it was always divided by account, not by player, as long as every account was being ran to a useful point. And everyone used to be happy with that. But hey, as far as I'm concerned, it was a success, more experience.
Massive success.
Yeah, we will upgrade things accordingly and have another run.
Yeah, so I guess that's it for this session. So until next time, cheerio.